What's up? Welcome to the Bluffs Sports Zone. I'm Craig Carlsen. We'll get to some postseason soccer action in a bit, but batting leadoff, the Iowa Western baseball team. The #1 ranked Reavers competing in their 6th straight Junior College World Series and opening up against another perennial power in San Jacinto. Jim Brinklow brings us more on the rematch of the 2010 National Championship game.
Road game coverage brought to you by Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine.
Craig, it's the first time the Reavers come into the NJCAA tournament as the #1 seed. The Reavers hope the Bats will take them off to a fast start. And the Bats get it going early. Top of the first inning, Reavers with 2 on base and 2 outs. San Jacinto's pitcher Daniel Stump fields a ground ball to end the scoring threat. First at bat for the Gators is a big one. Reggie Wilson gets enough of the ball to get it to right field. The hit gives him a leadoff double. A good start for San Jac. 2 batters later, San Jacinto now with a man on first and second base, and it doesn't stop there. IWCC pitcher Kenneth Kriedemeyer tries to gun down the lead runner, but the umpire calls him safe, and the Gators have the bases loaded. Dangerous situation for the Reavers, and here's why. Esteban Gomez connects with the ball just out of the reach of Brandon Tierney, but instead the hit will score 2 runners, giving San Jac a 2-0 lead in the first.
Go San Jac!
Stump already with 4 strikeouts against the Reaver team that led the nation all season long in batting average at .412. But in innings 3, 4, and 5, not a single hit or man on base. Kriedemeyer not bad himself. Keeps Gators in check as well until the bottom 5th. The combination of Wilson's swing and the 50-mile-per-hour winds take the ball over the fence for the first home run of the tourney. And San Jac now enjoying a 3-run lead. Top of the 6th, Iowa Western with only 4 hits on the day. Daniel Stump records his 6th strikeout of the game, and IWCC still trailing 3-0. Top of the 7th, the Reavers have a man on first and second. Isaiah Conklin drills the ball to center field, his first hit of the day, and it couldn't have come at a better time. He brings home 2 runners on the 2 RBI double to cut the deficit to 1, 3-2. But San Jacinto answers in the bottom half. Gally Cribbs waiting on third base for Justin Bird to hit him home. Great call by the coaches with the squeeze bunt, and just like that, the Gators back up by 2 at 4-2. And San Jacinto not done yet. Blake Goodwine threatened to score on second base, and the hit to left field gives Goodwine enough room to score to push the Gator lead back to 3. Iowa Western in need of a big rally, but Stump's arm controls the nation's best batting order, allowing just 5 hits with 8 strikeouts for the 5-time national champs. They win 5-2 and hand Iowa Western their first loss in the double elimination tournament.
We got to go back and try to find ourselves here. So we made it a 1-game season, and that's what we talked about was don't worry about trying to win the tournament or how many games we can win. We just needed to worry about today.
And that was just my first at bat, just try and go in there and get my timing down and just see what he's got. And then my second bat, he threw me a slider and I barely missed it. And then he's throwing me a lot of fastballs. So my coach told me to let the ball get deep, and I let the ball get deep and then just put a nice swing on it.
The loss will drop the Reavers into the losers bracket where they will face Neosho Community or Spartanburg Methodist, where it's win or go home. In Grand Junction, Colorado, I'm Jim Brinklow. Back to you, Craig.
All right, thanks, Jim. Iowa Western handed an early loss at the JUCO World Series, and in order to win the program's 2nd national title, will now have to win 6 straight. Difficult, but not impossible when you consider their separate win streaks this season of 17 and 26 games. The Reavers back to the park on May 27th. Here's more from IWTV student Jim Brinklow.
Road game coverage brought to you by Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine.
Craig, it's day 2 here in Grand Junction, Colorado, where the Reavers are facing an elimination game. But Iowa Western coach Mark Graydon says there's no added pressure. Just go out, have fun, and play some baseball. Even though the Reavers lost, their bullpen was untouched, and in Game 2 they're off to a good start. Andy Roberts strikes out the first Pioneer batter, getting 2 of the first 3 outs himself to keep Spartanburg off the board. Same inning, bottom half, Dave McTomshay still looking for his first hit of the tournament. He'll have to wait though. His hit turns into a double play, and Iowa Western misses the opportunity to get on the board first. Next inning, Reavers at it again. Keaton Steele hits the ball straight to the second baseman. Will Leathers can't handle the ball, and the error advances Brandon Tierney to second and keeps Steele safe at first. Next at-bat, Iowa Western looks to capitalize on the catcher's mistake. Tierney steals but gets a little greedy. He thinks he can steal another base. Reavers miss out on another opportunity to put up the first runs. Still scoreless in the top of the 3rd. Roberts, a machine in this one, records his 4th strikeout, making it 3 innings in a row without allowing a single player on base. The Reavers put runners in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings, and more of the same in the third. Conklin hitting at a .357 clip, and Superman's double sets IWCC up once again. Moments later, Conklin heads to third off a wild pitch. Then it's up to Brett Bass to bring the freshman home. His sac fly puts the first run on the day. Reavers lead for the first time in the tournament, up 1-0. Bottom 5th, Conklin back to superhero ways. A line drive down center field brings home Alex Greer from second. IWCC now up 2-0 off the RBI single. Bottom 6th, the Reavers with 2 out but 2 on base, threatening to score. Spartanburg pitcher Jonathan Pulley gives the Reavers a little gift off another wild pitch, and Tierney will score from third base to go up by 3. Well, I guess it's Christmas in the summer for the Reavers, and Pulley is playing Santa. Another wild pitch, this one brings Keaton Steele home, and just like that, with 2 crazy pitches, Western takes a 4-0 lead. The IWCC offense gets some help from the Pioneers' mistakes to stay alive in Grand Junction, winning this one 4-1 after 9 innings.
We always talk about being 1% better in 20 different areas. Don't try to be 20% better on something. And don't try to make anything up and be somebody you're not. That's why it's a team sport, not an individual. And you know, people like Damick and Tanner Creekmeyer, they're not themselves right now, and it's a shame right now because they're really good athletes and they're not showing it.
Well, I just tried to throw strikes, pitch to contact, you know, try to get rid of the nerves after the first inning because obviously I was a little nervous, you know, season's on the line.
Definitely, I think pitching will carry us. You know, we haven't been hitting as well as we were in the regular season, but if our pitchers can throw, they're awesome for strikes and keep the ball down, get ground balls like Andy did, then I think we'll have a pretty good chance to make it decently far in the tournament. But we'll see. I guess we'll have to hit too.
The offense struggling to get hits, but Brandon Tierney finds different ways to get on base.
Yeah, I've actually never experienced anything like that. I mean, I know I get hit a lot, but 3 times in one game, that's a little ridiculous.
Well, no, the name of the game is scoring runs. And to score runs, you have to get guys on base. Brandon just happens to be a very aggressive hitter. He's up on the plate. When you're up on the plate and they're trying to throw him in and they miss in, they hit him. That's just all it is. I mean, they weren't meaning to. They were just trying to get in on him, and they ended up hitting him.
A blessing and a curse in the pain-wise, I guess. Blessing in getting on base, curse because bruised the next morning.
The win earns the Reavers another morning game here at Suplizio Field, where they will face the winner of game number 6 between Western Nevada and Cisco. Back to you, Craig.
More from Grand Junction, Colorado and the JUCO World Series coming up. And after the break, postseason soccer action. Find out if the St. Albert guys will make it 4 straight to state. We'll be right back.
Whether you're a weekend warrior or on an organized sports team, however you play, you risk injury. At Flex Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, we specialize in the prevention, recognition, treatment, and rehab of orthopedic and sports injuries. We have 30 combined years of experience, making us Southwest Iowa's leading physical therapy clinic. At our state-of-the-art facility and using the latest technology, we'll help you get back on the field fast. So if you experience a sports injury, you need to see us first. Flex Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your Southwest Iowa sports medicine professionals.
What does the world need? What will you become? Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
This portion of the Bluffs Sports Zone brought to you by Cutler O'Neill Meyer Woodring Family-Owned Funeral Home, serving Council Bluffs in Southwest Iowa for over 100 years.
Coming into their sub-state semifinal match with AHST, the 7th-ranked St. Albert guys were beaming with confidence. They rode a 7-game win streak into the contest and had already beaten the Vikings 7-0 earlier in the season.
Road game coverage brought to you by Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine.
St. Albert not the only team on a roll entering the contest. The Vikings enter on a 3-game win streak, including a 1-0 win over Tri-Center in the sub-state quarterfinals. After being shut out in their first showdown against the Falcons, it takes AHST just 14 minutes to get on the board in this one. Jake Olson gives the Vikes a 1-0 lead. St. Albert, though, responds with heavy pressure on the other end. In the 18th minute, Cole McBride with a wide-open net to the right, but narrowly misses wide. Just over a minute later, the pressure pays off. Great cross from Dylan Crawley to James Wettengale. That's a sophomore to a freshman, and the game is tied at 1. That's the score at the break, and 2.5 minutes into the second half, the Falcons take their first lead of the day. Nate Dunning gone and done it again. His 8th goal of the season, 4th in the last 4 games. Falcons up 2-1. St. Albert playing without leading scorer Francisco Barajas out with a bad ankle, but the offense still successful in finding the back of the net 3 times, including Trey Tesort's goal in the 72nd minute to push the lead to 3-1. And a defense that's allowed just 14 goals all season and more than 1 goal in a game just twice all year handles the rest in a 3-1 win to send the Falcons to the sub-state final.
Our defense, after that first goal, we kind of shut them down a little bit, and I think we just got to keep this going into our next game on Saturday, so just keep the momentum high.
We didn't come out the best we have of the year, but we both had the same conditions, and we just didn't play the best, but we came back and fought and got the win, so just trying to punch our ticket to state on Saturday. So.
Only 16 teams left playing in A1, so we'll pitch it up. Just got a couple more days of practice and go up to Riverside and see what we can do.
St. Albert now sits 1 win away from a 4th straight state tournament appearance with a roster consisting of 15 freshmen and sophomores.
The seniors really stepped up and matured and helped those kids grow a little bit, and that's good for the life of the program. So if anything, whether we make it to state or not, I'll remember this team as being one of the best teams with the best leadership that I've ever had.
Style's nothing now. I mean, it's the postseason. You lose, you're done. So we just want to keep winning every game we can back to state and then make some noise up there.
Here's a look at the sub-state bracket. The Falcons extend their win streak to 8 games, winning 9 of their last 10 to advance to play KEMPER Catholic for the right to go to state. The Knights with a surprising upset over Underwood 1-0 in the sub-state semis. Underwood one of just 5 teams to beat the Falcons this season. Many believed a rematch was in store for the sub-state final, and there still will be, just a different team. KEMPER lost to St. Albert 1-0 back on May 10th. In other postseason action, the Lewis Central Guys see their season come to a close in heartbreaking fashion. The game tied at 2 until the final 6 seconds of the game when Sioux City East's Hector Alvarez kicked in the game winner off a PK stemming from a handball in the box. The Black Raiders eventually fall to state tournament-bound Sioux City West in the sub-state semis, while the Titans, who had won 6 of their last 7 games to close the regular season, are still searching for their first postseason win since 2007. Sitting at 15-5 on the season, the St. Albert Guys squaring off with KEMPER Catholic in the sub-state final on May 26th. Crucial the Falcons not overlook their opponent, sporting just 4 wins on the year. The Knights began the season with 10 straight losses, but playing their best ball down the stretch, losing just 2 of their last 7 games.
Road game coverage brought to you by Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine.
Head coach Tom Lurkovic and the Falcons in search for their 4th consecutive trip to the state tournament, and after a goal in the first 29 seconds gave St. Albert a quick lead, KEMPER playing catch-up. This shot in the 16th minute way off. Less than 1 minute later, Tyler Waninger with an open net to the right, but again, the Knights unable to get on the board. In the 22nd minute, Tyler Niehaus with a great ball inside the box. St. Albert's Eric Osman, however, there to keep KEMPER scoreless. The senior captain not done making plays either. Late first half, KEMPER again on the attack, and again stopped short of the net. Falcons lead 1-0 at the break. Early second, the Falcons would love to get a second goal from Francisco Barajas to create a little breathing room, but this shot way over the crossbar. Then in the 44th minute, Niehaus's face gets in the way of another Barajas shot, and the score remains 1-0. 4 minutes later, the Falcons with a couple opportunities to extend the lead. Great pass from Nate Dunning, but it's just out of reach for Trey Tesort. Dunning looking for a second chance, but his header off the mark. The St. Albert pressure continues into the 52nd minute, but again, the Falcons come up shy of a goal, and despite being outplayed, KEMPER very much in this game, down 1-0. And in the final 20 minutes, the Knights with a very strong push offensively. Brendan Stephanie, though, makes his stop between the posts. And although St. Albert nets just 1 goal, the D grabs their 10th shutout of the season to win 1-0 and advance to the Class 1A state tournament beginning May 31st.
4 straight seasons. That it just shows that over the years, we've trained our young kids really, really well. Like juniors, seniors now, we're freshmen, sophomores when we were first starting to make it to state. And so seeing that just helps us along the road and gives us the experience that we need to keep going.
Coming into this year, I was a little nervous because we lost our top scorer last year. I knew a lot of the games were going to be close and our defense would have to grind a lot of wins out. So it feels good, even though our defense has to work a little bit harder to preserve the victory we have, but it still feels good. Even from my freshman year, I just was hoping for this feeling.
I mean, that whole D stepped up today. That's probably one of their better games. But what a group! I'm just really proud of them. 4 years in a row. That's another thing they can hang their hat on. That's part of the tradition, and I'm just proud of them. They did a nice job.
The Falcon defense continues to impress this season. They'll head to state on a 9-game winning streak, having won 11 of their last 12. In those 12 contests, St. Albert allowed just 8 goals with 6 shutouts.
I was talking to our defender before the game. They can't win if they can't score, so that's our motto, just getting shutouts. I think it's our 10th or 11th one this year, so getting a shutout means a lot to our defense. That's what we aim for.
We take great pride in shutouts, and before every game, me and Eric always go up to each other, shut out this game. And I think we're at 11 some shutouts now, so it's just we take pride in that 0 up on the scoreboard, and it feels great whenever we do it.
The defense will have their hands full in the state quarterfinals on Thursday, May 31st, opening up against Iowa City Regina. They enter having scored the 5th most goals in Class 1A this season. The Falcons, though, appear to be ready for the challenge.
We will go up there and we will represent Southwest Iowa in good fashion. We're not conceding anything to anybody. The final championship is the ultimate goal. But these guys have been very good about doing 1 game at a time.
I think we're starting a tradition here at soccer. I mean, we've had that in football. Everyone expects us now to go to the Dome, but in soccer, it's gotten to the point where I think we're starting to make it so people expect us to make it a state. And now that we're there, we're hoping to make a little run, make some noise up there.
Well, since we've made it for the past 4 seasons, I mean, getting up there is one thing, but winning the first game is everything now. We've got a week to prepare, and we just want to make some noise up there at state.
A couple notes on the upcoming showdown between these 2 powerhouse programs. Both ranked among the state's top 7 to close the regular season, and now among the only 8 teams in Class 1A to still be playing. The Falcons, as mentioned, making their 4th straight state tournament berth, while the Regals are seeking their 4th straight state title. The contest, a rematch from a 2-1 St. Albert loss back on April 21st, and also a rematch of the 2009 state title match when Iowa City Regina began their run of state championships with a 1-0 win over the Falcons. We hope to have highlights from Des Moines on next week's show. Still to come, more postseason soccer as the TJ and LC girls both open up with home matches. And after the break, the Reavers look for their 2nd win at JUCO. Find out if they got it after this.
No team covers Southwest Iowa sports like the team at Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine. For nearly 25 years, Jenny Ed Sports Med's certified athletic trainers have cared for thousands of area athletes and their schools. And our partnering physicians at Nebraska Orthopedics help ensure you're taken care of from diagnosis through rehab. If you need to be seen now, come by our Saturday morning walk-in clinic. It's open all fall from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine.
What does the world need? What will you become? Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
This portion of the Bluffs Sports Zone brought to you by the St. Albert Alumni Association.
Grand Junction, Colorado is roughly 800 miles away, and on a bus, that trip can last longer than 15 hours. Maybe that's the reason the Reavers are still waiting for their offense to arrive at the Junior College World Series. They entered the tournament averaging 10 runs a game, but have plated just 6 in their first 2 contests at JUCO. And now fatigue could hurt the Bats even more as the Reavers play their 3rd game in 3 days. Here's Jem Brinklow with more.
Road game coverage brought to you by Jenny Edmondson Sports Medicine.
Day 3 in Grand Junction and Iowa Western facing Western Nevada, and the Reavers still looking to figure the mystery of hitting in Colorado. Still scoreless in the bottom of the 4th inning, where the Wildcats' Zach Hendricks drills a deep ball to left field, where Steven Leonard can't seem to catch up to the ball that's rolling along the wall. The hit brings Hendricks to second base, threatening to score. 2 batters later, that threat becomes a reality. The bunt brings Hendricks home, and the Wildcats are on the board first, 1-0. Reaver defense in need of one more out to retire the inning, but a hard hit takes the ball all the way to right field, and Alex Rear shows off his arm, throws it home plate, and instead of finding themselves in a 2-run hole, the Reavers end the scoring threat. Next inning, Iowa Western makes that deficit a tie. Alex Greer gets back-to-back great plays for Iowa Western, first to throw at home plate, now the solo jack. The freshman makes it a 1-1 game. Bottom 5th, the first batter for Western Nevada is Bobby Pappin, and he answers Greer's homer with one that's even bigger. This one goes over 400 feet, and just like that, they recapture the lead for the Wildcats. Top of the 6th, IWCC batters get going. Steven Leonard's hit is good for a single. Moments later, Tierney finally gets his first hit of the World Series. That didn't involve him bruising up. Later in the inning, Reavers with the bases loaded, and the pass ball brings home the tying run for Iowa Western, and it's 2-2. Same inning, 2 outs for IWCC. The infield pop-up is dropped by the first baseman. Can't see it on camera, but you see the runners booking it to home plate. The Wildcat air gives the Reavers their first lead of the game, 4-2. The Western Nevada rally begins in the bottom of the 7th, where the inning starts off a little odd. After the ball connects with the bat, it does the same with the second base umpire. The strange play advances a runner to second and leaves a man safe at first. Later, bases loaded, and the Wildcats take advantage. Reaver defense turns a 6-4-3 double play, but another runner crosses home plate, making it a 4-3 game. Western Nevada not done yet. Chris Woolley gets a single. That hit brings another run, tying the game up for a 3rd time in the contest. Heading into the final frame, 2 down for the Reavers when the hitless Tanner Kriedemeyer comes to bat as a pinch hitter. The Wildcats' second error on the day allows him to get on base safely. Next up, Isaiah Conklin, by far the best threat on the plate for IWCC in the tourney. 4 for 11, 3 RBIs, and he adds to both those stats here. He takes this one all the way, and the 2-run blast gives the Reavers a little breathing room, 6-4. Now it's up for closing pitcher Keaton Steele to make sure the score stays in favor of IW. After giving up a single, he strikes out Neil Lawhorn for the first out. 1 out later, Steele gets the job done, striking out 2 of the 4 batters he faces to earn the save. The Reavers beat the Wildcats 6-4 to advance and play Tuesday, May 29th against Neosho County.
It's a good feeling for us. You live for another day, and all I told them 2 days ago when we lost our first game was just play game by game. We'll worry about tomorrow when the sun comes up.
I mean, it's a great feeling. After losing that first game, morale was kind of down, but now that we've won our last 2 games, we're picking it back up and we're ready to keep rolling.
I've been having a pretty good tournament so far, and they told me to just relax and go up there like I've been these past 2 days. So finally, before I went into the box, I was just trying to just calm myself down, know that there are 2 outs, last inning, and just take a breather before I get in there. And then I honestly don't even know what pitch he threw me. I just tried letting the ball get deep as I could and put a nice little swing on it.
Don't change it. Soccer highlights on the other side. LC hosts Harlan. And if you like goals, check out TJ's offensive explosion against Atlantic.
If green and gold never gets old, then St. Albert Sports Fan is the place for you. Updated daily, it's loaded with articles, archives, and so much more. And if you can't make the game, you can still watch it live from the comfort of your own computer. St. Albert Sports Fan, the homepage for the home team.
Girls postseason soccer kicking off this past week with the TJ girls hosting Atlantic on May 24th. Here's IWTV student Scott Stover with highlights from the Class 2A region quarterfinal.
Atlantic comes in having just scored 12 goals all season. So not surprisingly, the Yellow Jackets strike first in this one up 1-0 after 15 minutes of play. Allison Arnold floats it in over the goalie to extend the TJ lead to 2-0. 4 minutes later, another goal comes in bloopers fashion when Atlantic's Tara Edelman kicks it into her own net to widen the margin to 3. Same score with 6 seconds left in the first half. Lauren Hemler puts in her 6th goal of the season to extend the Yellow Jacket lead to a comfortable 4 goals heading into the break. After making some minor tweaks, Thomas Jefferson continues to score in the 48th minute. Samantha Arnold having a record-setting season. She puts in her 20th goal of the year, part of her hat trick on the night, and the Yellow Jackets lead 5-0. TJ continues their impressive offensive showing with 27 minutes left to play. Jackets lead by 6 when Haley Cox sneaks it into the lower corner for Thomas Jefferson's 7th goal of the game, up 7-0. The Trojans clearly outmatched in this one from the opening whistle. TJ outshot Atlantic 47-1. In the 66th minute, Nikki Zyka gets in on the scoring frenzy to bring the score to 8-0. Then with 9:20 left on the clock, Teresa Brown puts in a deep shot and the game is 1 goal from being called for the mercy rule. And almost in the blink of an eye, Haley Buell puts in her first goal of the year to win the game, just 2 points shy of Atlantic's total on the season. TJ wins 10-0 and improves to 10-12 on the season and advances to face number 10 ADM in region semifinals Tuesday, March 29th.
Like we say, we've got 3 numbers on the board, and you can't win all of them unless you win the first one. We got to take care of business, and yeah, we were probably better on paper, and the girls took the challenge and got control of the game and did what they're supposed to do. And I'm not a big fan of 10-0ing anybody, but when the district starts, it's time to save legs, and I don't think we ran the score up on purpose, but we're not gonna lay back and have a chance of anybody getting hurt. And I know it's probably not the greatest thing, but the girls did what they're supposed to do. I mean, we probably should beat them bad, and we took care of business, and I'm happy with the effort. We played hard. We didn't get too lackadaisical. There's a few times we did, but for the most part, the kids did exactly what we needed to do.
One player that continues to get it done game after game is Samantha Arnold, and teammates are happy to have her.
Like, she tries to get other teammates points on the team too. So it's just really great having a player like her on our team.
After going down 2-0 in the first 13 minutes, the Jackets battle back against ADM in the region semis to tie the match at 2 until Krista Hochstetler nets her 2nd goal of the day in the 71st minute. Thomas Jefferson ends their season 10-10 on the year, while ADM faces the winner of the Harlan-Lewis Central game. The home team the favorite in this one despite the early goal in the first half. Lewis Central not in the clear, but Harlan's offense by no means a juggernaut as they're unable to get on the board here. Then in the 65th minute, Madison Paulson's line drive gets deflected by clone Paige Henson. Teammate Brooke Jensen follows it in and the Titans extend the lead to 2-0. And that's the final. LC improves to 11-6 on the season, advancing on to play number 10 ADM at Iowa Western June 4th, and the winner goes on to the state tournament.
Basically, I think we were ready more than we normally are, and we did not want our last game to be Harlan, that's for sure, when we know we're a better team, we're better quality, better passes. I don't know, we just had a lot more intensity, I think, and I feel like we played more aggressive than we did, so. And once we got it to our midfield, we kind of got it through the midfield, it was a lot better than what we normally do, so.
I think we just came out there really well prepared, and I think once we started going, it got easier. But our passing did really well, and our communication was good, and we just really want to get to state this year. So I think overall, this was one of our better games that we played this year.
I came out of here pretty healthy. No one got hurt. We've had some injuries all season, so it was nice to come out healthy. And a couple of our freshmen have stepped into roles where there's been players that have been injured this season, and they're playing fantastic. Gabby Lansel and Natty Carlsen, they're kind of playing our wing mids, and as freshmen, it's a big role on our team, and they've both stepped up to that challenge.
Thanks as always for checking out the broadcast. Next week, more from the JUCO World Series as the Reavers vie for the program's 2nd national title. And of course, more soccer highlights, including a trip to Des Moines for the St. Albert guys at state. Until then, we're out.